Yo, what is up, everyone? It is the Beast, and welcome back to the Beast on. I know, not enough content, not enough stuff. I get it. We're in interesting times. That's what this video is about. This is going to be a new series we call the Corona Chronicles because that's where we're at right now. First of all, before I get going, please hit subscribe. If there's anything you can do that's completely free, that would help my spirits, just make me feel better as a person right now in these times, is just subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. I don't care if you ever watch another video, just subscribe. That would make me feel so much better. I'm going to thank a couple of sponsors, even though they're not really sponsors, because they're not paying me a dime, but I owe them gratitude. One is, off the top, is Code Ninjas. You know that's where I work for right now. And Code Ninjas of Cooper City, it's my dojo, but we also have Plantation, and we have Coral Springs. What up, Broger? What up, Bridget? What up, Liz? And soon to be Weston, and soon to be West Pembroke Pines. What up, Christina? What up, Tracy? What up, Eric? What up, my peeps? I just want to thank them and throw this out there that I know a lot of people have lost their jobs in this current climate, but luckily enough, we've got really smart people running our little biz in Code Ninjas, and Eric and Tracy immediately said, "All right, we're the tech world. Let's see if we can do this virtually." So now, to be honest with you, 3 days a week, and who knows if we're going to start doing it more. We're adjusting our schedules, what have you, but we're keeping our dojos of coding open, so kids 7 to 14 are still getting their coding sessions in virtually. They are literally doing it virtually. It's amazing. So not only is it still giving me work, which is important to keep the electricity on, and a place to go, which is... I guess not necessarily a place to go, but a purpose. Give me a purpose, kind of something to focus on during all this. And it's really, obviously, not only that, but helpful to all the kids and parents out there who, in this time, when everyone's stuck at home, are looking for a way for kids to have extracurriculars. We provide one at Code Ninjas that is not just fun, but obviously a learning experience and helps with so many other things. So props to Code Ninjas, because they could have shut down and I could have been jobless and these kids would have had nothing else to do with their time, but instead the Leon family kept things going, and I'm just really appreciative. So that's not a paid endorsement. They didn't call me and tell me to talk about Code Ninjas in this video. The other person I want to thank, but this goes with everyone. I want to thank all the first responders out there, firemen, paramedics, policemen, doctors, nurses, respiratory techs, everyone that works in the hospital system, the doctor system, and just everybody that has to deal with this, because you're on the front lines and you're putting yourself at risk every single day for us and all the scientists and all of that. It's just... thank you so much. But one person in particular, and you've seen him on my channel the last couple of weeks, Dr. Alon Payenson. Not only does he run Doctors on Call 365, which is an amazing concierge medicine service, still doing telemedicine, and he'll screen you, and if it doesn't seem like you need stitches and you don't have any COVID going on, he'll probably still come over and stitch you up. DoctorsOnCall365.com, but Dr. Payenson has been just awesome to the community in all of this, helping everyone get through this. He's given out his personal phone number. If people are scared, what have you, they call him. Just a mensch of a mensch of a mensch. He's awesome, and you should go thank him. Please, Doctors on Call 365. Find him on Facebook. Find him on the IG. Dr. Alon Payenson on the Facebook. Just go thank him. Him and all of his fellow peeps doing a great job. All right. It's enough of that. That's like 5 minutes of non-content, but content. Let me get to this. Coronavirus. I'm scared shitless. Let's go with that. Yeah. So let's get real. I am a hypochondriac who suffers from anxiety disorder and depression. And God knows what other mental health issues and other health issues. Talk about comorbidities, I have all of them. Whatever you think could be bad for your health, I've got it. Now, I have myself to blame for that. I get that. I've put myself in this position. Now, there's other factors and other reasons, but that's not neither here nor there. So I'm scared shitless of these days and times. And I've got a couple things going against me, which is, like I said, hypochondriac and anxiety disorder. But also, I am to say I'm a news junkie or an information junkie or a curiosity junkie, or to say that I have a vast need for knowledge and to know what's going on would be all an understatement. I cannot disconnect. Literally. And it's not that I need to know what's going on. And this happened way before the digital age. I mean, I used to, in college, I used to fall asleep with headline news on. Remember headline news? CNN headline news? They would just do news 24 hours a day. Because I never wanted to miss anything. And I'm still like that. I don't want to miss anything. The first thing I do, if I wake up in the middle of the night, I open my eyes, check my screen, look at my notifications. Anything happen? Anything going on? Now, it used to be, right, back in the day, it would maybe be about sports. Like, was there a big trade that I missed? Or, maybe it was a big news story, like an earthquake in some foreign place, or, some tsunami warning off in Asia somewhere, something that didn't affect me, but still, I wanted to know about it, right? News, info, I need to know it. I can't let go of that. I can't just put it down. My brain won't let me. I need to know what's going on. I need facts. I need science. I need to know. I need to know. That's how my brain works. And so here I am at this crossroads where we're dealing with an international pandemic where, every piece of news scares the shit out of me. I can't put the news down, and we're stuck in our houses for hours at a time. And I know a lot of you are like, well, go read a book or go watch a show or go, and yes, those are all logical things. And I have done that. It's not like, I'm not watching my shows, thank God for that Homeland still on, or Blacklist or Manifest or New Amsterdam or whatever. And by the way, that new, was it Lion King, Tiger King? We watched the first episode of that thing. That thing sucks. I mean, we'll probably finish it, the series, because everyone else is and we're followers, but that show's overrated. I feel like if we weren't all quarantined, that wouldn't even be a thing past episode 1. That's neither here nor there. So do you feel where I'm at as a person right now? Dealing with just all of this stuff. And every night, it's just a thing. Like, I got to sleep okay. Thank you to the meds. But waking up in the middle of the night or waking up in the morning and just waking up filled with fear that of all this shit happening, it's just, it gets to you. It definitely does. And this is the part that some of you are not going to like. And I apologize. I think most of you, if you know me or have watched my videos or follow me on social media at Miami Radio Beast, you know where I stand politically. But it's in these times, in these times of national crisis, where we're supposed to put politics aside, right? Like, after 9/11, let's go back. Like, obviously, I did not vote for George W. Bush. And certainly, in hindsight, didn't think his presidency was a very good one. And I actually met George W. Bush. That's a story for another time. We'll talk about that incident or occasion. But after 9/11, right, we're like, as a country, we pulled together, and I felt like the information we were getting, the communication from the White House, the military leadership, like everything seemed to be on the same page and going in the right direction. Now, as it turned out, like, we got fed a bill of goods about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, and like, we can get into all that. But at least as it was in the days just after 9/11, in the moments and the hours and the days after 9/11, I felt reassured as an American that we had leadership, that there was a chain of command, that we were listening to the right people, that the right message was being put across. Okay, as we got further away and things got convoluted, all right, we can go back and criticize that. But do you understand what I'm saying? Like, right in the thick of it, like right as the towers are coming down and the Pentagon is on fire and we don't know if there's more attacks, and like, I felt like as a country we were getting the right info, the right communication. We had leadership. And right now, I don't feel that way. I just don't. Not in the state of Florida, not in this country of the United States. I just don't feel like we've got the right leadership. And that's not helping my anxiety, because I truly believe I can't tell you how many scientists and doctors and researchers and epidemiologists and like, I can't even begin to tell you the amount of experts that I read, like, clinical papers from and research projects, and I'm digging into this stuff like I'm learning about the R naughts. And if you don't know what R naught is, then, I mean, you're not in this. I'm stuff that you can't even, ACE inhibitors, like, just, holy crap. Like, it's an RNA virus. Like, I'm digging deep in this stuff. And every single nugget of information I've possibly read about this virus and the spread and where we are, just like, I read all that and then I look at what's been done at a federal level, or what's being said at a federal level, or how it's being managed on a federal level, and I don't feel good about it. I don't at all. Like, I posted a video on my Twitter and Facebook today, and maybe I'll try to find the link and put it in the description of the video, which basically was a scientist, like, using numbers and science and math to basically do simulations of how social distancing affects the spread of the virus. How does testing and isolation affect the spread of the virus? How all these scenarios, like every variable and factor, and just real gutsy stuff, right? Real in the numbers and quantitative and qualitative and all of that stuff. Statistics, like I failed 78 times in college. But like now I get it, like why that class I didn't pay attention to was so important, because of shit like this. Where we have to be able to predict how things are going to happen. And, you know, my biggest takeaway from everything I've read is that the number one thing to stop this, or that we should have done to stop this, would be massively over-test and isolate. Now, I mean, I could go into a billion reasons why, and I could give you all the data, but that's not for me to do. That's go listen to the scientists. But a consensus among every expert in the world is that over-testing and isolation is the way to prevent the spread of this virus. And as a country, we did not do that, and we're still not doing that. Like, the president can go out there every day and say we're testing more people than any other country, but not per capita. Like, and I was just trying to explain this to my son about actual, like, numbers don't matter just in black and white. What matters is the per capita numbers, right? Like, how many deaths over the amount of population, or how many tests over the amount of population. It's not just the number. Like, okay, we have 6 times as many people as South Korea. So yes, I would expect us to be testing more. But per capita, we're not even close. Not even close. So you want to be able to, everyone talks about bending the curve and lessening the curve and all that stuff. Like, we're too late on that. Like, yeah, we could have an impact now, but we could have had such an impact. And, I mean, I remember having Twitter conversations about this virus in January. Like, late January, early February. Like, if we had done everything that we're doing now, because basically the world shut down on St. Patrick's Day, right? That's when everything shut down, on St. Patrick's Day, right around then. If we did that, if we shut everything down and started massively testing and gotten on our horse a month earlier, like February 1st, I can't tell you how many thousands of less people would have died and would not have died and wouldn't die. Like, it was a massive failure. Now, if you don't agree with me, that's fine. You can have your opinions and what have you. I don't know where you're getting your facts from. Like, is it Breitbart and the Washington Examiner? Because if that's it, like, we are going to just have to disagree. But, like, it's like, I'm not just flipping on CNN and that's where I get my news from or my facts. Like, I'm actually going straight to the sources. I'm reading scientific papers. Like, I'm reading the facts. These are apolitical things. This is not someone with a skewed view. These are people that believe in data and math and facts and science. Like, that's where I'm getting this from. And I'm making my own conclusion based on everything that I've read. And comparing it to what we've done with our federal government. And it irks me to no end because, not to get too nationalistic, but I really do feel like we have the best country in the world. And I feel like when we need to get shit done, there's no one better than us, right? Like, think about it, right? When something when the world needs something, we're there. We can get it done, man. Like, we can get it done as a country. World War II, we needed planes. Ford and GM are making planes. Like, we got it done. And we didn't do that. Like, our military is there's no doubt in my mind that on a large scale, the United States military is the single greatest well-oiled machine in the world. There is not one other large-scale operation that is as well run and at that level as the United States military. That's my firm belief. Maybe you disagree with me, but that's what I believe. And I believe, had our federal government just said, listen, let's run this ish like we run a war from the get-go, January, February, hell, maybe we'd be back to business already. Okay, maybe that's a little bit idealistic. But you see where I'm coming from? So, I think we've dropped the ball. And that scares the crap out of me. Because the way this virus works is, it's not what you do today. It's what were you doing 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, right? What were you doing then? That's what is going to impact you today, whether you're going to get sick now. Like, it's a while. At the earliest, it's 5 days before you show symptoms. And then, it's only going to be very mild. All these people, you see a million reports. This person is tested positive, but they're just showing mild symptoms. Yeah, that's how this works. Mild symptoms at first. And yes, 80% of the people will end up okay. But there's hell that you go through for a lot of people, even if they don't end up in the hospital. Like, and there's all sorts of different symptoms. From yes, we've heard about the dry cough and the fever and all of that stuff, right? Heavy breathing. ESPN broadcaster Doris Burke tested positive for COVID. I listened to her story. You know what her symptoms were? A horrible headache. She had a horrible headache and she was tired. She never was out of breath. The highest her fever was like 99.6, which is like barely a fever. Like that like some doctors really don't even consider that a fever. Like a lot of doctors would tell you unless it's 100.4, it's not really a fever. She had a headache. She had a bad headache. She was positive. How many people did she infect? Not because it was her fault, but because she didn't think she had anything wrong. She had a headache. Bad, really bad headache. Had to be in bed, but still. She didn't think she had corona. She wasn't coughing. She tested positive. Scares the crap out of me. You gotta go to Publix or your grocery store and get food. And you take every precaution. You're hand sanitizing, you're hand washing, you're doing all that stuff. And you don't know. You don't know who's spreading it, who has it, who touched what. And I know you can't live your life in fear. I get that. But I think I would feel better and more reassured if I knew the best of the best were on it in this country when they should have been and not now. Like now I think we're good. Like I think the best of the best are on it. The problem is the impact that they're going to have. Like we're not going to have a vaccine for a year. We're not going to have a specific antiviral that specifically treats COVID-19 for a long time. Like I know what you're saying about hydroxychloroquine and zithromycin, and in some people it works, in other people it doesn't. Like I've read 5 studies on that. It's inconclusive. At best, it's inconclusive. And we're still understanding this virus. Like we can't even for sure certainly tell you that if you've had it, you won't get it again. We're not there yet. And we're not sure on that. But I would feel like, I think I'd be less anxious and spending less time in the bathroom. Yes, anxiety poops. It is a thing. Yeah. If I just felt like it was all being done right. If Ron DeSantis had decided to close the beaches earlier, if there was a statewide order to close the beaches, if the state was acting like a state and not like a frat house, if the president had done certain things, like just so many things. So here we are. And I know a lot of you are like me. And you're watching this, and a lot of you have some of the same fears, and a lot of you are telling me, dude, relax. I wish I could. It's my number one problem in life. Inability to relax. I know. I've tried the mindfulness and the meditation and all the other. I've got an app for that. I just can't do it. Relaxing for me is the toughest thing. My brain never shuts off. It's the worst time to have that issue. That's for sure. All right. I'll probably be doing more of these. I'm sorry I dragged on so much. It's been a while and I needed to get a lot off my chest. Again, the most important thing you can do, and it doesn't cost a cent, is just subscribe, hit the bell. I'm going to try to record some interviews this week, and put those up, get some other content. Maybe, hopefully, I might start doing a live show, again, on maybe either Hot Mic or one of the apps, something like that, just to entertain, just have some laughs with you guys, maybe an hour or two, a couple times a week, and most importantly, say hi to people, communicate. There's a lot of us that benefit greatly in this time of quarantining and being alone or being stuck with your family, which is not a bad thing, but and not seeing other people, where a simple Facebook comment or a simple DM or a simple phone call or a text message can really go a long way. So keep that in mind. All right, appreciate you watching. Love you all. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay the fuck home, and wash your hands. I'll see you when I see you. Peace.